What's going on, guys? It's me, Lincoln, also known as VMAX, and today I'm joined by my boy Mitch as we review the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time temples ranked from scariest to least scariest. Let's get into it. Alright, so we got like 7 different categories for this. We got super spooky, bone tingling, pretty scary, a little frightening, barely startled, completely unfazed, and I actively want to go there. That last one's a little bit special. That's reserved for like one temple only, but we'll get to that later. Alright, starting with the lowest of the low. We got the Ice Cavern. Now, I'm completely unfazed with this one because if you live in the Midwest like I do, we go to the Ice Cavern for like 8 months out of the year, so like this barely phases me at all. Like cold weather, I can deal with that pretty easily. Not to brag. Okay, going on to D tier. Okay, I should explain, like, don't take this video too seriously. Honestly, all these temples would be a little scary because everything in there is trying to kill you. But I'm just going with, like, realistically, out of all of them, what's the least scary to, like, most scary. And there's a pretty big gap between the two. So let's just figure this thing out ourselves, I guess. Okay, next up is the Water Temple. And the reason it's going here this low is because I love scuba diving. I went scuba diving before. I love going underwater, exploring things, and yeah, I guess this temple is clams trying to kill you, but like honestly, they're not that bad. You get like a hook shot, and this temple just looks cool. Like I want to go there, but the reason why it's not going the actively I want to go there part is because, as everyone knows, the temple is freaking confusing. Like everyone hates it, so I would probably just go around and explore it, but I wouldn't like actively try to beat it because I can't even do that sitting on a couch. Imagine swimming around it in real life. So looks cool, not scary, just don't really want to beat it. That's it, I guess. A little frightening. Jabu Jabu. Now this place is disgusting, don't get me wrong. I would not go near that place with a 10-foot pole, but the reason why it's only in a little frightening is because the place is more like disgusting than it is scary. Kind of like the Saw movies. Like, those movies don't freak me out, but, like, I don't want to see them because, like, it's just gross. Like, it's not scary, it's just gross. That describes Jabu Jabu's belly pretty well, so it's going in a little frightening. Alright, we're going to B tier now, and for pretty scary, I'm putting the Deku Tree in there. And now you're probably thinking, why are you putting, like, the first temple in pretty scary above all those other things? Well, there's a reason for that. Well, most of the temple isn't scary at all. You got like the easiest enemies in the game, like the Deku Babas or whatever. The one scary part is where you jump off the ledge into like the spider web and go through the floor. That's pretty scary. Link literally jumped 100 feet like without fear. Granted, he was like screaming his head off, but like who wouldn't scream their head off when jumping that far? I've gone cliff diving before, as evidenced in one of my earlier videos from 2018, but that was like 20 feet. Link went like 100 feet. So yeah, that part's a little bit too scary for me. So that's why it's going in pretty scary. The rest of the temple would probably be completely unfazed, but that part, pretty scary. Alright, let's go with another B tier. We're going with the Fire Temple today. And that's because the temple is super dangerous. Like, there's fire going at you everywhere. There's, like, a giant dragon at the end. But overall, this place is, like, less, like, scared. Like, I'm shivering in my boots. It's more so that it's, like, dangerous scary. Boulders rolling at you is, like, danger scary. Like, all this feels like a Indiana Jones temple, not something like a haunted house, but more so like you're avoiding all these traps and you're scared for your life, less so that there's like a ghost or something. So that's going in B tier for pretty scary. If I put it any lower, I'd probably get harassed in the comments because like, Lincoln, what if you went in there, you'd probably die. That's kind of scary. So it's going in pretty scary. It's not a bone tangler, okay? It's not something where I'm like going to the temple, I'm like, I'm scared. It's like, oh geez, I might die. Which is also kind of scary. I'm disproving my own point. Next temple, A tier. We're going with the Dangos Cavern. This is like the second temple in the game. What's bad about it? Well, just listen to like the OST of Dangos Cavern in like a dark room for like 5 minutes and you catch my drift. This place is terrifying. Like, look at that. Look at that. That looks like death. You got like lava you have to jump over, and granted the fire temple of lava, but like this place sounds like a nightmare when you go inside of it. It's just freaky, the atmosphere in that temple. While the boss is kind of silly, everything leading up into it is just kind of eerie. So it's going into bone tingling. I mean, there's a big bone, there's a big skull right there. How could it not go in bone tingling? Like Mitch, you'd agree with that, right? He's a little silent, but he agrees. He's shaking his head yes right now. Okay. Next A tier. We're gonna go with the Forest Temple. Now the Forest Temple has to go here. It can't go any lower than that. Because it's a freaking haunted castle in the middle of the forest. Like, how more spooky can you get? I mean, there's a higher spooky tier. We're gonna get to that later, but this is like, it like takes a cake. Like, this is like a haunted house. Not quite the most haunted thing in the game, but seriously, there's ghosts you going around. There's like wolves you have to fight. It's like super Halloween-y. Like, you're going around killing ghosts. You have to fight a phantom at the end. Like, seriously, that's like, how can I not put it there? It's so spooky. It's super, well, not super spooky. It's bone tingling. So it's going in there. Another S tier. We're going with the bottom of the well. Super spooky. Need I say more? This place is literally a torture chamber with the most terrifying enemy in any Zelda game ever. Dead Hand. It's seriously like nightmare fuel. Like, that's super spooky. There's like these hands that come from the ground and grab you as this like thing comes out of the ground and goes at you with bloody claws. Like, that's terrifying. It has to go there. And other things are still on par with it, such as the Shadow Temple, going in S tier, super spooky tier. Also a torture chamber, and probably the worst temple in the game. So that also puts it up quite a bit. It's like a torture chamber with like really eerie and unsettling music that just makes me uncomfortable. Like, I want to leave. And like a boss with like decapitated hands pounding on a drum. It's just like unsettling and eerie, and I don't like being there. I want to leave. The uncomfortable feeling I feel in there is like being in IKEA as a kid when your mom still hasn't found like the item she looked for, and because the store is like 100 miles long, and you just want to leave and go home, but you can't. That's the feeling I get from the Shadow Temple. I literally have no idea what this is. I think that's the Gerudo training ground. I could be wrong. It's a training ground. I mean, like, other people have gone through it before, so it's less scary. Like, these other temples, like, no one else has gone through it before, so you don't know how dangerous this is, but other people have gone through the training ground before and survived, so really it doesn't make it that scary. Okay. Final, I'll go with the I actively want to go there category, and that will be the Spirit Temple. This place doesn't scare me at all, besides maybe like the pot flying at you the first second. Like, that's like a jump scare, but like, besides that, this place looks awesome. Like, I want to go there. I love Egyptian stuff, and I would show you if I wasn't sitting in a chair right now, but I love Egypt and Egyptology and all that kind of stuff. Egypt gods, and this place is clearly based on like Egyptian architecture, and it just looks so cool, and its music is just like, whoa, I'm entering an ancient place. But I like this place. This place looks awesome. And really, the boss at the end is just a couple of witches. Like, that's not that scary. They're like silly. They act silly. So, really, I really want to go there. I want to go to the Spirit Temple. Someone book the flight and take me there. I'd like to go. Last temple. And really, how could it not go in S tier? This is Ganon's Tower. How could I not put it there? It has Ganon in it, and he's playing like the organ. Like, that's so spooky. That's super spooky. Not to mention all the other challenges leading up to that point are super dangerous, and has gone through everything else you've gone through with the rest of the game. Really, the whole package of the game, and therefore the most spooky, because like it has like a guy you can turn into like a nightmare beast that tries to kill you at the end, and it's like an all-out attack. Like, man, I can't. I might be overselling it. I might be underselling it. But just play the game yourself. Decide for yourself. This was my ranking. I hope you liked the video. And yeah, this game's pretty spooky. Have yourself a spooky Friday, and I'll see you next Friday when I go through Majora's Mask and Wind Waker in the same video. Double header for you guys. I'll see you next time. This is Lincoln, aka Vinox, and my boy Mitch, signing off.